Yo, what's happening all? It is Wednesday, the 15th of September. I didn't get it done yesterday, Tuesday, different kind of day. I'm preparing to leave for Alaska on the 22nd of September. I'm gonna be gone till the 2nd of October. Gonna be jumping, flying into Anchorage, moving from the big plane on Alaskan Airlines to a little tiny one, about I think a 10-seater. We're flying out a few hundred miles out in the middle of nowhere, being dropped off, jumping on some boats and heading up the Yukon River. And we're going to be completely gone from civilization for like 9 days. It's going to be freaking awesome. We're going to go moose hunting, going to be fishing for pike, dodging bears. We are definitely going deep into grizzly country. And we're not going to be, in any sort of place where I think that we're going to have any structures to keep grizzlies out. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be awesome. So you won't be able to get a hold of me. I had to get some things settled out yesterday morning for that to be sure that I was all set. So you want to go to quitjerkinoff.com. You want to go to youtube.com/quitjerkinoff. You don't want to search Quit Jerking Off in YouTube. And you want to go subscribe because we're going to get a lot of episodes out with the people we're going to be with. It's going to be really, really cool with this one. And then also subscribe here, man. If you haven't already done that shit, man, get in here, subscribe. We're going to continue to keep getting the best data we can from the market. Again, I'm not no deep analyst, but I do read what other people are talking about. And I did get some cool information yesterday. So it was really, really good that I didn't record yesterday. So I had information driven to me by what some would call a competitor, but I call her a friend. She's in the industry, does the same thing I do. And she shot me the information that as it popped up, that the mandate that we were all affected by earlier this year by the Federal Housing Finance Administration, or FHFA, they had made some changes to the preferred stock purchase agreement that was done through the U.S. Treasury to the Fed, to purchasing the mortgage-backed securities, to now owning the majority of the mortgage-backed securities based upon by just quick back of the napkin math. They're then being able to say, Fannie and Freddie, we want you to focus on owner occupied, so we want to limit your exposure or the money that you're using to do these loans and to secure these loans to 7% of your total portfolio can go towards investment in second home, and the 93% remaining has to be targeted for homeowners. Well, they tried this out for a little while, and we did have to go to the private markets to try to figure out how we're going to do this. Now, it was a stuttered start, but once we got it going, we're in really good shape. We're getting pretty good. I mean, very, very close capital. You've seen what I've been showing the UMBS 3.5, the UMBS 4.0, and we're pretty close to where that's at. So I'm not seeing a massive difference in the rates, but what's happening now is there's an opening up of this. They're starting to say, maybe, I'm reading this, maybe we're a little bit hasty here, right? They were thinking this, and this is my guess with all the stuff I'm reading, it's 100% Aaron Chapman spitball on this, that they're seeing that possibly if they limited the amount of capital that was going to the investors inside companies, because they're not into building people's businesses. They want to help home ownership, right? That maybe there would be more opportunity for people to have home ownership. Well, if you look at the last year, so year over year, the statistics that are being issued out that I'm looking at, that was through a report from Redfin, that the demand for investment properties and second homes went up 84% year over year. We've got this increasing demand. How's that affecting the homeowners trying to buy houses, right? Well, if that's affecting homeowners trying to buy houses, it's going to shrink what they have available to them. Therefore, it's going to shrink what Fannie and Freddie are able to do loans for. The other thing is they're calling those high-risk loans, right? I've been doing this for a long time. We've been really closely tracking what's been going on for about the last 6 years here within Security National, because we've had to report on that. I don't see it as being that damn risky. You as the real estate investor have to be very, very conscious about what you're buying and why you're buying it and what is the capability of you be able to maintain renters in that property and be able to raise rents over the time that you have it, so you can maintain the cost of it and continue to make a profit. In many cases, you'd make more profit off of having rental homes than ever owning your own house. Home ownership, you living in the house, owning the house, responsible for the upkeep on the house, is the greatest expense of your existence, period. Everybody calls it your greatest source of wealth. No. It's your greatest expense. You'll always spend a lot more than what you're going to get out of that deal, depending on what the market gets. But if you're buying a property with 20% down, financing 80% of it, and you have somebody else paying the bills, plus and giving you money on top of that, Now that's a massive asset. We've already talked about how huge the asset of leverage is and how it's not debt. I don't even like the word good debt. I don't even like saying that because it's not debt. It's 100% asset, but you have to make the right decisions. So let's talk about where we're at in the market and what may have happened to us since all this came out, right? So as we can see here, the 3.5, which I've been following, which is really closely tracking, has spent yesterday, it went way up on that release. And it was actually in pretty good shape the day before, but we've maintained a higher level. Now, of course, we're bouncing off of some support here, but I believe we're going to maintain that higher level as long as things continue to believe that we're going to have now be able to feed into these pools. It's just more money for us to be able to borrow. So why is it going to get better? Again, Aaron Chapman spitball, right? If now we have more sources for it, it's going to create a little bit more of a market where people are going to compete with each other. Possibly, I can't say for certain, right? When it comes to these markets, because we've opened up these other channels. So now we have more places to go for money, and we can go back to Fannie and Freddie. Looking right here, same thing. We had a high open today. It came back, got a little bit of a decline in it, but it's still up higher than where we started yesterday. Actually, it's just a little bit higher than where we started yesterday. So we're still in pretty good shape. Look, we're actually getting close to the highs we've seen over the last 90 days. Same thing on the 3.5. We are reaching up, getting close to the points of where we're at our highest points in the last 90 days. So it points that the market does like this. And it does, and it's encouraged by this. And maybe they believe as I do, because they're looking at the data. The real estate investor is not the biggest risk. I don't believe they are. So we're going to come back on Friday. I'm going to talk some stuff about appraisals. When appraisals come in low, what you should be looking at as the buyer of the property and the owner of your business. I don't think people are informing you correctly, or many people have not been informed correctly on what to look for. I'm going to try and peel back that curtain. I hope I can do it in a way that's compliant and that they're going to let me release the video, because I got to be sure that I'm not saying anything that's going to be misleading. So I want to get that information out to you. If it doesn't happen, well, I'm going to do my best to get out to you on Friday. Again, hit the subscribe button so you're alerted to that, to learn how to read a low appraisal and see if it's truly the value is lower than what they're trying to sell it to you for, or if appraiser just missed some details. Thanks, guys. Subscribe. Go to aaron.chapman.com. Click on the donate button. Help us out. Bust the balls some of these human traffickers and get this crap out of our society. Thank you, guys.